perfect night for grand final basketball.
Hey, good job of weathering the storm. I think it's a couple more opportunities in trans when we need to get there on that rim. Go, go!
Childress stuffs two.
This is how they play. Anytime we make mistakes, we're being punished. We haven't been good enough to get back.
This is huge. What a scare for Melbourne.
We just got to learn to play without Casper through this little period. Let's not change who we are right now.
You guys got to know when to put your foot on the pedal.
Are you ready to go? Yeah, I'm ready. Are you going? Yeah.
You think I'm not good enough? Take me out.
Casper Ware over his injury. Back scoring again. What a start for Dean Bickerman and Melbourne United.
Massive crowd, more than 8,000 in the house here in Adelaide. They are making a raucous noise.
Go get it.
Adelaide is caught up 11 without reply and has a game-high 14-point lead.
If we make them shoot contested shots for the rest of the game, we win.
Oh, Melbourne are on fire now, back to within 14.
Timeout, timeout.
Joey Wright storms out onto the floor.
Let him back in it. You keep letting him shoot it, he's going to shoot it. He has nothing to lose right now.
And Adelaide look headed for a 1-1 scoreline in this grand final series.
Have the three now. Have the three. Let's go. We're here. Way to go get it. Way to go get it. Good job, fellas. Way to get it.
We have seen two fantastic high-scoring grand final games so far, and as a result, this arena is full of anticipation, full of expectation. We've said so far this series is going all 5 games. Shane Heal, Corey Williams, despite the injury to Josh Childress, are we still going the distance?
Well, I've got Melbourne United winning this game, and I think they're capable of actually going and getting it done in Adelaide. I know that's probably against the odds, but I think they're capable of being able to do it, Homicide.
Yo, Hammer, I might have to question if you were drinking in the back, because no way this is over in 4. This is going 5 games, Hammer.
Okay, well, you picked Adelaide at the start of the series. You still staying with that?
Well, I know it's going 5 games, and we're going to flip a coin come game 5. If we go 5 games, I got Adelaide.
I sense Homicide is wavering. We'll come back to that, but when you add their points scored, it's Adelaide ahead, 206-202. When you look at the quarters, Melbourne have won 5 quarters, Adelaide 3. Make of that what you will. The scoreline that really matters is we're 1-all. Game 3, promising so much. Melbourne to 107 points in Game 1 to win. Adelaide to 110 to take Game 2 at home. What is going to happen in Game 3? The Hungry Jacks Grand Final Series 2018 continues. Great to have you with us. And the Melbourne crowd up and about, knowing 2 of their stars have passed fitness tests to play. Here's one of them, Casper Ware, over that hip complaint, supported as he drives into the paint by Josh Boone. Great start, fantastic signs, Casper Ware.
Well, have a look at that. Steve and Homicide talking about the X Factors. That man is the X Factor, Casper Ware. He's going off tonight.
Now Shorter tries to answer. They've been at it all week, Shorter and Casper Ware, a battle within a war tonight. We'll come back to those two as Daniel Johnson draws the foul on Casper Ware, but here he is opening the scoring. The little man, the point guard for Melbourne, who Shannon Shorter, Corey, was happy to poke this week. Tell us what Shannon said.
Well, basically, Shannon said Casper didn't do anything. He got us behind, busted, and we're going to come up to Melbourne, win Game 3, and end it in Game 4.
That's because they held Casper Ware to 6 points. Here's Shannon Shorter looking to get involved. Instead, it's Creek going it alone and opening Adelaide scoring. But Casper Ware responded, Hammer, saying, well, come and guard me, Shannon. If you're so good, come and have a crack at stopping me.
I'm backing Casper Ware here. He is ready to go off as we see him drive down the middle with absolutely no defense at all from the Adelaide 36ers. Have a look at Casper Ware now, right up in the grill of Shannon Shorter, and says, I'll defend you, but where are you at the defensive end, pal?
As soon as he scored, he looked straight to Shannon and was in his grill. How good is this? Shorter, Ware, face to face after being mouth to mouth all week. Ramone Moore starting, he feeds Johnson. It's just Ramone Moore's second start for Adelaide. He started 5 times for Melbourne last year, so he started more for the opposition last season than he did for his current home in 2018. And look at Ty Wesley. All poise, great finish.
Doing what he does best. He's been doing this the whole second half of this season for this United team. Whatever they lack, he would bring it.
A confidence boost for Shorter. His first score.
And you got to know Shannon Shorter's going to come back. You have to know this.
Yeah, you're going to come back more than once, though.
The runner from Casper Ware.
He's done it 3 times. I want to see that again from Shorter.
Look, this is grand final basketball, and this is what we want to see. This is sports and entertainment, and they are bringing the entertainment right now.
Shane, the intent from Ware, 3 of 3. He has bolted out of the blocks.
And this is why it was a massive mistake for Shannon Shorter talking trash to you, Corey. And your nickname's not Homicide anymore. It's like the Spoon, because you are just stirring the pot beautifully amongst this. But I tell you, if you're going to poke the sleeping bear like Casper Ware, you better be ready to play. And at the moment, they have not.
Well, it's only a 3-point game, Hammer. And I like that name, the Spoon. We're going to keep that for a while. We're going to keep that.
You can certainly stir it up, and I love it.
What a grand final series this man is having. Mitch Creek, what a season he's having. His first 2 grand final games, 14 points, 9 rebounds, 17 points, 9 rebounds. But all the points right now are coming from Casper.
Who poked the bear?
There's a bit of a wet spot on the floor.
Shorter trying to answer. He finds an unguarded Sobey, and the rebound pulled down by Casey Prather. The home team by 4 early. They'd love to get this to go. Golding, no is the answer. Steve Carfino courtside. The crowd is into this. They're aware fully of what's happened between Ware and Shorter this week.
But what they've done is woken up Casper Ware. Not only is he scoring layups, as Ramone Moore did right there, but once he starts getting into the paint, that's going to open up all those shooters for Melbourne United.
And don't they have some, Steve? Golding missed with his attempt, but there are plenty of others waiting in the wings. Johnson up the floor. Not his customary role. That's a tough shot. Catches the rim, and Golding pulls down the rebound. Now Prather worked his way back into the starting side, and he's working his way into this game.
And that is exactly what Adelaide do to opposing teams. Now Melbourne United are running at all costs. That's why this entire series is going to be high scoring, because the pace is so up-tempo like no other 2 teams really play.
Casey Prather with 2 championships, David Barlow with 3, Ty Wesley with 1, giving Melbourne 6 championships combined. Adelaide without 1 at all. Do you buy into the fact that's an advantage for Melbourne, their championship winning experience? Bear in mind, Adelaide had plenty of grand final experience.
It does, and the championship I won with the Sydney Kings, I'd never been in a grand final series, and neither had a lot of my teammates, and we were playing against Ricky Grace and Tony Ronaldson, guys that had done it over and over. So sometimes that fresh approach and that hunger can get it done, so I don't wipe Adelaide out of this.
Boone spinning on Shorter all the way to the backboard and through.
You know, and that's one thing that Adelaide does a lot, is switch everything. And a lot of times, it's a mismatch on the interior. Melbourne United is too smart of a team and will pick that apart and go at the weakness in the defense of Adelaide.
I think the other thing on that too, Homicide, is that when they switch, it opens up the offensive rebounds for Boone. So when they go to the bucket, Boone's there. He's had 8 offensive rebounds and only 3 defensive rebounds. I'm going to repeat that. He's only had 3 defensive boards in 2 games. Like, Nathan Sobey's had 9. Boone needs to come to play at the defensive end.
Well, but when we look at it, remember, his back was hurt, so he really wasn't a factor at all.
He's out there, so he needs to be judged.
Here's Casper Ware looking A-OK. Golding. Come back to Boone's rebounding in a moment as Melbourne with a follow-up from Boone. His rebounding has dropped from 10 in the regular season to just above 5 during the finals, Hammer. Shorter.
Offensive rebound there by DJ, but that last offensive play is exactly what I was talking about. Have a look at this, the penetration, so they draw rotations, and now Boone is there on the offensive end. That's how he scores all his points, because of those rotations.
What did you make of the wild swing in fouls called between Game 1 and Game 2 with the same refereeing panel, I should say, Corey?
I don't buy it. The thing is, Melbourne United shoots more jump shots than Adelaide. Adelaide is going to attack you the whole game, which means what? You are highly likely to be fouling them. They're going to apply the pressure, and that's what happened. Nothing more than that.
And for once we agree. That's the way Adelaide play. They do attack so hard. They're so difficult, and that's what Joey Wright, his teams have made a living on, playing that fast pace. They just don't shoot three-point shots.
Here's Golding camped in the corner again. This time it's good for Bubbles. CG43 off the mark. And just to put some numbers on that foul count, or the free throw count, attempted free throws, Game 1, Melbourne 26, Adelaide 24. It swung massively, Game 2, 40 Adelaide, 16 Melbourne. Sobey, cross-court for Anthony Drimick. Early game time for Anthony. He'd hit 1 of 9 threes across his last 5 games. The first tonight is good.
We know he's capable, Homicide. He's done it all year. It's Casper Ware again. Hits his 5th basket in the first quarter. Who poked the bear?
He's gone to double figures. The next best, 4 points. Boone, Moore and Creek.
And that's as we see, that's a great find to a wide open Chris Golden. Casper Ware forced the rotation. Open man is left in the corner. Chris Golden for 3, count it.
And that's what Mr. Magic on the sideline, Steve Carfino, spoke about, as we see Drimick knock one down on that occasion. But the more Casper drives, and he's taking a break right now, he needs some oxygen. He has gone hard at the start of this game, everything off the dribble. And the more he does that, the more it's going to open up Chris Golding.
Hammer, Corey, he has scored more points in 5 minutes than he scored in all of Game 2. Kept to 6 in Adelaide. He's gone to 10 midway through the first. Drimick, again, it's an air ball.
Well, yeah, it's a missed shot, but what I like about that is he's come out, and he's come out aggressive. Everybody for Adelaide has to lift on both ends of the court in the absence of Josh Childress.
And we know he's capable. He really has to step up now, because he has to really do what Ramone Moore was doing when he was coming off the bench.
David Barlow having a really strong grand final series. Good minutes. Season high in Game 2. In fact, here's Peter Hooley. He played a role in Game 1. Now Creek sitting it up for Majok Deng, who can't take cleanly and loses at baseline.
And that was a good push by Adelaide, and that was a real good look. Big fella just couldn't bring it in.
How good has Creek been? He's leading this series in defensive rebounds. 7 assists. He's second in assists. That was a perfect pass. You saw it, hands like flipper for the big fella Deng.
Cooley guarded by Sobey, so Boone is the option, and a good option. Brendan Favola applauds. Pete Siddle, AFL and cricket side by side, clapping, applauding basketball. Great to see.
And to go back to your comment, good drive by Mitch Creek over Big Josh Boone. Not Mitch Creek, sorry.
Sobey it is.
Sobey. But back to your comment, Ham, about Mitch Creek. He's been amazing all season. But in the finals, he's leveled his game up to a whole nother level.
He has, and he does it with such an aggressive style that leads this Adelaide team and really gives them belief that they can pull off a big win on the road.
So we have a timeout. Mitch Creek, his numbers this season, 31 points in 2 games, 18 rebounds, 7 assists. He's been a main man for them, playing 62 minutes across those first 2 games. And Joey in the huddle there. So Adelaide's D in Game 2 did a job on Casper Ware, did a job on Melbourne to keep them to 95, their lowest return against at Adelaide this season.
As the offensive rebounds, have a look at these. And that's where Melbourne have to really continue to get better. You have to block out because this Adelaide team is relentless. And that's where I talk about Josh Boone. Only 3 defensive rebounds in the first 2 games isn't good enough against this team that's not overly tall, but they're so aggressive. And that's what's really helped them have the success this year to get to this grand final series.
And they have to rebound, they have to try and stop Melbourne, averaging 100 points per game against the Sixers this season, United. Kept to 95 in game 2. Brodie Jenner here for the Australian Grand Prix. I tell you what, Melbourne, sporting capital of the universe this weekend. NBL Grand Finals, Supercars, Formula One Grand Prix, the opening weekend of the AFL. Try getting a hotel room. That's why you and Corey are together tonight, Hammer, in the same room.
That's not why I called him Spoon.
Here's Anthony Drimmick. Now driving, Sobey finds support. Daniel Johnson can't get it to go, and Barlow with the rebound.
And that's good defense by Melbourne United, but it was actually good offense by Adelaide. Way to penetrate and find a cut in Daniel Johnson. He just wasn't able to finish.
And that's a great board. Barlow's been critical in this series, but turnover from Casey Prather. He just needed to make the easy pass back to Barlow, who's been outstanding from the 3-point line in these first couple of games as well. And you and I had a heated discussion about Dave Barlow.
We are going to discuss that. We're going hopefully we got the footage. We're going to show it. We're going to discuss it. And I got a thing or two I'd like to say about that, Hammer.
Well, Gordon Avery waves the bucket away, calling the foul on Casey Prather.
The thing I see about Barlow, 8 points a game, 55%. He is 5 from 9 from the 3-point line. We know that's not his normal game, but he's been able to step up. But his toughness and ability to be able to get deflections, defensive rebounds, and play really solid defense against this difficult lineup of the Adelaide 36ers has been incredible.
Indeed it has. He's done a great job in the first game defending Mitch Creek, slowing him down. Mitch Creek had a good game, but Barlow was able in the second half to slow him down and make his shots a bit harder.
Crowd willing this free throw away. It's good. David Barlow, he's played 19 grand final games. As I mentioned, a season high 13 in the most recent grand final, Adelaide last Sunday. Golding runs into plenty of obstruction there and turns it over. Johnson. Now Majok Deng, the finger roll and the kind bounce.
And that is a tough finish. Should have been an and one if you ask me.
He got fouled, there's no doubt about that. He had 18 points in 17 minutes in game 2. He was outstanding.
David Anderson, the 37-year-old veteran, still delivering for Melbourne United.
Mr. Reliable. I have 11 championships. I've done this all over the world. Put me in the game, coach, because I'm going to deliver.
Just delivering again, but have a look at this man. Dang, he's come of age. Looked like there was a little bit of contact. I'm not sure it was a foul after seeing it on the replay, but look at Dave Anderson. Pick and pop all night.
Been doing it for years and is continuing to do it.
Casper Ware, didn't he set the theme early here? 5 of 6 from the field. He still leads all scorers with 10 points. Dean Vickerman giving him a breather, but this was a real start from Casper.
You got to know and understand. Casper is the leader of this team. First team All NBL. He's their guy. They go as he goes. And once you poke the bear, you got to know what comes with that.
And let's face it, that's a rookie play from Shorter. I mean, him mouthing off like that, I understand in the heat of the moment, you're passionate. But Casper Ware hasn't played like this. He wasn't invested with the same sort of passion as the way he came out tonight. That's a rookie mistake from Shannon Shorter. Surely Joey Wright's not happy with that.
Hey, rookie mistake or not, it's great entertainment for the NBL, baby.
We love it because we get so much more to talk about. But I tell you, if I was Casper Ware as well, I am coming out fuming.
Yeah.
And he has.
Yeah, Casper Ware also has 2 fouls. So we gotta keep looking at his fouls throughout the rest of this game. This is very important.
Well, I think on the other side, if I can just jump in there, I think what Melbourne United need to do too is try and go at Daniel Johnson. He has just been incredible all year and such a potent big scorer on the road. They get him in pick and rolls and try and get him into some foul trouble as well. Whilst he's been on the court, they have been up plus 30 points, Matty, in the first 2 games, which is nearly double the next highest person. He's been exceptional.
So Casper goes for some attention. We'll get Steve Carfino to investigate that, but just to really underline that hammer, next best, Josh Childress, plus 17. So DJ nearly double the closest to him when it comes to the plus-minus, and that is how your team scores while you're on the court. That is phenomenal from Daniel Johnson.
Yeah, he definitely got to get DJ some more touches and get him going early, because for them to get a W tonight, he has to have a big game.
You know, the plus-minus really does give you some talking points. And just for the uninitiated, I will go over it. It's how your team is while you are on the court. So DJ, Adelaide up 30 on United when he's out there. Next best, Childress, plus 17. So that's why he's such a big loss. And then plus 17, David Barlow.
Well, I think it's the most critical stat that you can have. From a coach's perspective, you want to see how the team plays while you're on the court. So there's so many intangibles that go on in basketball that don't always show up on the stat sheet but make your team better.
Shorter. No score. And the other surprise in there for me was David Anderson, plus 13 across the first 2 games.
And that's why he gets started to cut you off. That's why he's here on this team. Because of his leadership and his experience in situations like this, for games like this. He knows what it's all about.
The Frankston junior, David Anderson, veteran of 4 Olympics, scored 8 points in each of the grand finals so far.
And that's huge when he can be the backup 5 when Boone sits down. He's reliable, he makes educated plays. He has a high basketball IQ. You can trust him.
But, I mean, he's played in the NBA multiple times, but he's played in some of the biggest EuroLeague finals you could imagine. So the atmosphere, the occasion just doesn't get to him. But when we talk about intangibles, he does all of the little things to make his team better.
There he is pulling down the rebound. He played NBA at Houston, Toronto, New Orleans, and as you touched on, 11 overseas championships. There's a foul called on Ramone Moore. In fact, it's Matt Hodgson. Pinged. Here it is again.
That's just, I'm not sure what he's doing. He's so late on the show. That's their 4th team foul now. United have to be aggressive.
And that's exactly why Coach didn't start him, because he just came in the game and got a foul.
Well, game 2, 4 fouls. Here's Barlow. Camped in the corner. 3 more. David Barlow.
He's money right now, Matty. He is money. He was 5 from 9 before he made these couple of trifectas. Big time Dave Barlow.
We should mention he's hit 3-pointers in 8 consecutive games now. Craig Moller joins in. Limited time for Moller so far in the grand final series. Melbourne keep possession.
And that's what Mitch Creek does. He just intimidates you. As we see this pass, really good drive and dish from Hooley. Got them in rotations again, but Moller, he needs to go up and stuff that.
He would have got that stuff right back down his chest, because Mitch Creek was right in his face.
Well, I'm happy if he does, but at least he's gone up and had a go rather than fading away like a 6-foot point guard.
And these teams met here in game 1 of the grand final series. There was no bigger lead than 7 points in the first half. Melbourne out by 10 as we approach the end of the first quarter. Creek, Ramone Moore lays it up.
And that's just easy give and go basketball. That's the thing. Melbourne United need to be smart and take care of the ball, because if you turn it over, Adelaide is pushing it down your throat.
Cooley can't drop the three. Scramble for the ball. It goes baseline. Melbourne keep it. Steve Carfino, how's Casper Ware travelling?
Casper's just keeping that hip loose right here. I'm right behind him on the bike. And no injury, just trying to keep this thing loose. He's got 2 fouls, so he wasn't going to play in the first quarter. Just keeping it loose for the second, because he is going to work.
When he gets off, Steve, I want you to jump on and churn out a few Ks for me. Casey Prather! 1, 2, 3 for Casey. And they're out by 11.
And it's always a good thing when Casey Prather is hitting threes and playing good basketball. Right now, Melbourne United shooting 70% from the field. Incredible. Adelaide have to find some way to slow them down.
14 of 20. Melbourne shooting 8 of 17. Adelaide.
They're going to throw something here to the rim. Only 0.9 of a second to go. They've got some length at the back line of this, the Adelaide 36ers, so they understand what's coming.
The offensive foul called on Moore, so Barlow will be charged with the inbounds. Peter Hooley, the target. There it is, the 3/4 length shot. Finds nothing but air. Melbourne United flying high after the first. Up by 11, grand final game 3. Who's going to lead us to Adelaide on Sunday? Stay with us. Shannon Shorter has done his best, but Casper Ware has led the way, and Melbourne are leading the way. Up by 11, Josh Boone fired up, his team shooting at 70%. So into the second we go. And it's Nathan Sobey in control for Adelaide. Sobey draws the foul, and
great take by Nathan Sobey. We know that's what he's capable of this pick and roll, being able to penetrate. Just caught Dave Anderson out of position. But rebounding has been the key that first quarter. Melbourne United have got 12 and only 4 for the entire quarter for the Adelaide 36ers. Joey Wright would have spoken about that. But also the field goal percentage. Homicide spoke about it. 67% for Melbourne United. They need to pick up on D, the 36ers.
And Corey, with Sobey at the line here, I want to talk about free throws. We know Adelaide had 40 on Sunday, the most in any game this season. They've now had 10 compared to Melbourne's 3 so far in this game. Is there anything Melbourne can do to try and balance that free throw attempt ledger, Hammer? Is there something they're doing wrong or need to do, Corey?
I think what Melbourne United, they're doing tonight, a great job. They're closing out possessions. They're stopping the ball. They're playing great defense. That's what you have to do. You got to know how to slow the ball down. You also have to take care of the ball. Don't give them other opportunities to run at you.
In the last 5 years under Joey Wright, Adelaide have led the league in free throw attempts. 5 years. What a reign at the stripe for Joey and his team.
I like this mindset from Nathan Sobey, getting aggressive off the dribble, got himself to the free throw line. That time he caused rotations and just threw it up to DJ.
Prather drops the mid-range jumper.
And that was great defense. At the end of the day, look, Adelaide is playing good defense. United is just hitting everything. Whether the shot is a high percentage shot, if it's contested, or whatever, it's dropping. They had 68%.
I'm not sure about that. I mean, Casey Prather just came off a pick and roll, wing pick and roll, and he hits an elbow jump shot, uncontested.
Matty Hodgson had a hand in his face.
Prather. Adelaide warned about their defense by the referees.
Yep.
Told to get their hands away from the face, off the forehead.
Well, I know they were warned, but maybe they need to start going back to that. Maybe that'll get the field goal percentage down, because Melbourne United is still around 70%. That is incredible.
It really is. And for those who didn't understand what Matty was talking about, every time United, or at times United, were taking shots, the defender would, instead of trying to block the shot or put a hand on the shot, they were putting a hand in the face, according to the referees.
Prather stalking Adelaide. Steps outside the line, tried to make three. Drimmick with the rebound. Melbourne's 33 points in the first quarter, not a good sign for Adelaide. When Melbourne have scored 25 or more in the first this season, they've won all 7. And they race past 25 to 33. 7-0 with quarters like that. Childress in discussion with Ramone Moore.
And what they're doing at the moment, Melbourne United, by other guys stepping up, they're buying more time for Casper Ware to be able to sit on the sideline, rest his hip, but also protect those 2 fouls that he's got.
You don't reckon the words from this man, Shannon Shorter, spark Casper Ware? It's the first time Ware had 10 points in the first quarter all season.
Well, and that's the thing. That's the thing. If you're going to talk it, you got to walk it. And right now, Casper Ware's walking it. Shannon Shorter, you got to step your game up.
Well, he was walking it all right. He's got 10 points, 5 from 6 from the field in only 5 minutes of play, if you don't mind.
Peter Hurley finds Boone, baseline, plenty of work to do. Adelaide commit the foul.
You have a look at Boone's baskets. They all come from offensive rebounds or someone else driving. See, when you get up and into Hawley so much, you get yourself in rotations. I have no idea why the Adelaide 36ers are pressuring Hawley. They need to stay between the man and the basket and challenge him to be able to make a shot over a defender.
I'm with you. I'm playing percentages. His strength is penetrating. That's what he loves to do. He likes to shoot, but he'll penetrate way more before shoot.
Well, and the other thing it's done is Hawley now has 4 assists. If Boone makes one of these shots, and may not be as likely as he just finds a way to be able to tuck that one in.
He's at
47%.
He's actually been shooting well during this finals.
He has. For a 47% free throw shooter, he's been shooting great.
Well, I guess, yeah, there's only one way to go if you're 47%.
Maybe not.
And he hit both.
His form is good. I can't understand. It has to be a mental thing that he shoots 47% anyway.
He saved his best for last at the free throw line as Creek goes behind the back and then drops it off for Anthony Drimmick. Nathan Sobey, 2 precious points for the Sixers.
And he has to continue to be aggressive throughout the game, let alone this quarter.
Boone backing into Drimmick, who did enough. Good D, Drimmick. Sobey back to Creek. Walking through the paint. Johnson, a rebound. The score with the possibility of one to come. Good fight, the visitors.
And it's always great when you see DJ getting involved in the paint. Getting an extra possession, old board, going up strong, finish, and 1.
Now Casper Ware comes into the game. I like that from Dean Bickerman. You could just tell he was just feeling if there was a change of momentum at any stage. Adelaide had scored, now they're at the free throw line again, and bang, he brings in his superstar.
Gee, copped a bit and gave a bit. Drimmick under the bucket, defending Boone. No whistle, it's a grand final series.
Oh, he plays tough. Like his big brother, Frank Drimmick. Quite the physical, that's for sure.
Foul spotted off the ball. So there he is, Anthony Drimmick called for the foul.
Let's see whether Casper Ware comes out as aggressive as what he did in that first 5 minutes, or whether he's going to try and play himself back in, and the answer is yes.
Ware misses. Boone can't get the putback, and Creek comes at Melbourne now. He's troubled out of the ball, but the foul will be called on Ty Wesley. No, Majok Deng. There it is on Chris Golding. As Golding fought for the ball. Madjock all over him.
What about Ty Wesley? I mean, the man really can't jump over a phone book, hasn't had the athleticism, but he's got 8 blocks in the series. The next highest is Hodgson with 2. Boone's only got 1.
An even split, 4 in each game, Hammer. Here's Casey Prather. Still a struggle for the ball, and Deng pulls it away. It will be Adelaide's ball.
And that was a tough rebound in traffic because they were all over the place. I was almost wondering, what is Adelaide going to do? Because all I saw was black jerseys jumping all over the place. They need to box out. They need to do their work earlier.
Great board, but as you said, now United are back to 57%. Haven't been making those easy ones they probably should have made.
Drimic misses. Deng gets the ball eventually. Great reach, Majuk. Nathan Sobey at the free throw line, passes for Daniel Johnson. It's a tray, and they're back within 6.
And we talked about that. DJ's a plus 30 when he's on the court. That's a great find. Extra pass by Nathan Sobey to find him for a wide open 3.
Nathan Sobey now has 4 assists. 5 points, 4 assists. But you're right, that is a great find to the man that he knows gets going on the road in DJ.
Boys, I want to tell you about Camp Next Gen in 2018. It's coming up for future basketball stars. It'll be done in front of NBL representatives and coaches. You saw Andrew Gaze, Leonard Copeland. About 80 participants will take part. US college players, Seville aspirants, state league players. It's a 2-day camp at Melbourne Sports and Aquatic Centre, May 21 to 22. If you're watching, you want to be part of the action. If you can deliver a span like that or height like that, a chest like Hammer's there, I want you to go to nbl.com.au/nextgen and sign up to be involved. Who knows who's going to come out of Camp Gen 2018?
Well, and we saw the highlights there. Indiana faithful started that combine, then got on the roster of the Illawarra Hawks and ended up playing a lot of games when there was an injury. So that's a great event for people that have the aspirations to play in the NBL to go to, Corey.
You know, that's super awesome because things like this were never around before. You know, a lot of times there are diamonds in the rough. Guys that got looked over, never had the right opportunity at the right time. So to have something like this, me, when I started playing, I needed things like this. I wasn't the star player. So this is great to have this around in Australia.
Back to this game, boys. The biggest lead of the game was 14. It was Melbourne 39, Adelaide 25. Well, the Sixers now are on an 8-point rip. Looking for a stop here on Golding. Prather charged with the shot. He can't score. It's off Boone. So this run by Adelaide can continue now.
We got to always know one thing. Adelaide 36ers, the way they play, they are never out of a game. I don't care how grim it looks early. They're never out of a game.
Ain't that the truth? We saw that in Perth.
We saw how they put Perth in the casket and shut the case.
They were down 18 points. They fought back.
And they didn't even bury him.
Anthony Drimic from the corner.
They didn't even bury him. They cremated them. But anyway, back to the grand final.
Hey, what goes around comes around. And we spoke about Sobey with the extra pass. That time it was DJ with the extra pass to Drimic.
He'd made 1 of 9 coming into this game from three-point land and shoots 2 of 4 in grand final game 3. Anthony Drimic. He'll see more court time with no Josh Childress. Daniel Johnson, he's feeling it from outside as well. 39 on 39.
Oh my, do not blink. Do not blink in this game. Have a look at Melbourne United, 33 points in the first quarter. Now they've only got 6 in the first 5 minutes here. Great ball movement, big shots, and all coming by the way of threes.
Everybody knows they have to step their game up. Their leader, emotionally and experience-wise, is out for the season. No more excuses. You got an opportunity. What you gonna do with it?
I want to go back to Dean Vickerman. He took Casper Ware off, who didn't seem to be hindered. He was slaying Adelaide. He took Casper Ware off, put him back after the second quarter had started, and that's where Adelaide starts the comeback.
He had 2 fouls though, Matty. He really needed to protect those fouls because Casper's going to be big come crunch time, and that's where you go when you need a bucket. You go into Ty Wesley with his back to the basket, and it's automatic money.
There's Sobey. That's a very good point, Hammer. I was thinking of the injury and nursing him, but it's the fouls that were the factor. This man nursing 2 early days. Drimmick came down with the ball and drew the foul.
So I think right now, Melbourne United need to reset. They need to either go into the post to Ty Wesley, or they need to try and get Chris Goulding into the game. Goulding's the leading scorer in the first 2 games for both teams. So far tonight, he's 1 from 3. He's got 3 points. They need to run some plays, some pin downs, because we know he's automatic when he gets going.
Yeah, I hear you, but I know one thing. Daniel Johnson has 13 points. All pretty much in this quarter. Gotta credit Nathan Sobey. And aggressive Nathan Sobey is a beautiful thing to watch.
No doubt. And he's a great all-round player, Sobey. Both of the defensive end, creating, scoring, he does it all.
Cheeseburgers for the Melbourne faithful. Anthony Drimmick's first trip to the line is 0 of 2. The crowd loves that. Now Ty Wesley hard into Daniel Johnson. And Johnson is called for the foul.
That is what you call intelligent defense. Sliding your feet, moving your feet, and keep your hands up. Ty Wesley goes directly in the middle of that Mitchell and Ness jersey and knocks him to the floor.
I thought it was called on Adelaide, but it's gone with the offensive foul.
And to back up your point about Daniel Johnson, he was a donut from the field. He was 0 from 3 in the first quarter. He only had 2 points. Now, he went 4 from 5 in this second quarter alone, and we've still got 4 minutes to go.
Here's Shannon Shorter. Casey Prather couldn't stop him. There's a little flex from Shannon. It's a long way to go, Shannon. Be careful.
Baby, this is why we're here.
The muscles are out. Shorter's feeling it.
Mate, surely you've got to carry bigger guns to flex than that. You can't flex them.
There wasn't much flexing when Casper scored 10 points in 5 minutes to start the game. But you gotta love him. Shannon Shorter happy to get all theatrical after scoring on Casey Prather. Look at these guns, boys.
That's a good move. But I'm not sure he's got the pipes to advertise with, though, has he?
Guess what? If he don't have the pipes, his teammate does. And I know he has his back. Mitch Creek.
Yeah, he definitely
got
does.
the pipes.
You've got him rocking the spaghetti arms or the French baguettes, not the guns, Hammer, have you?
Oh, no, he's not going there, but...
There he is in the ear of Majok Deng, who just leans forward. Shush, Shannon. He's fired up. We all are. That's 43 on 43, taken there by CG43.
Well, normally, as we say it during the year, you hit a couple of free throws as a shooter and you haven't had too many opportunities. Watch out, the next one's down.
Mitch Creek holds his shot up perfectly to beat the defenders, and Creek deposits 2 more.
And that is a great find inside by DJ. Did exactly what Melbourne United did. Found the mismatch. Mitch Creek, Goulden on him. No way Goulden stopping him for easy 2.
Nathan Sobey, top of the key, bottom of the nets.
This is what I want to say to you both. An aggressive Nathan Sobey, he could play in the NBA. I believe that. Super athletic, can pick up and defend. Any point guard, can shoot, can get to the basket. When he plays like that, he's a different animal.
You told NBA Australia there were a few players in this grand final who are NBA ready. Corey, Casper Ware, he's already been there with Philly, 9 games. Nathan Sobey, the man you just mentioned. Mitch Creek, and the really interesting one, Majok Deng.
I said Majok Deng in the right situation, he's a stretch 4. You know, so he got to be in a situation where it's just run and gun. Catch him in the corner, shoot some threes.
He's going to put on some weight.
They're going to put him on the program. You already know NBA, look, he has the potential. What is he, 6'9", 6'10", can shoot the 3, and he's young? That gives you potential in itself. He's a poor man's KD, I said it before. given the right situation in the right space and potential, 3-4 years, that's the end product. You'll see a beautiful product in Majok Deng if you gave him 3-4 years in the league.
The 25-year-old, born South Sudan, came to Australia 2006 to the Forestville club in South Australia, averaging this season 7 points, 2.5 rebounds, a season high of 20. We'll remember the 16 in the fourth quarter. That was a show of his potential.
Look, I said that day I did that game, I said he must have had a date. He had to have a date. He's like, look, I can't be late for this date. Let me go ahead and finish this game. Good night, Perth. I think it was against Perth. Then he left.
Shane, you wouldn't argue that Mitch Creek, in box right there, is also NBA prospect. He'll be back to the Summer League if you had your way.
No doubt. I mean, he's got an NBA body. I mean, there's aspects of Mitch's game that he has to continue to develop. He has to be able to hit that spot-up three. But no doubt off the dribble, the way he can finish with both hands, the way he can defend, I would like to see him get back to that NBA Summer League and get some minutes to be able to showcase his skills.
His stats line so far, 6 points, 2 of 5 shooting, 5 rebounds, 3 assists.
Without a doubt. Sorry to cut you off. I'm so excited. This game just has me too hyped. I'm just all over the place.
We love it, Corey. Don't worry about cutting us off.
What I do like about Mitch Creek, well, love. I don't like anything. I love it. I love it. But what I love is the fact, look, you can work in the jail. You know, you get an opportunity to go to the league. They have the best all around you. Everything you need is there. All you got to do is put in the work. There was plenty of players with potential that worked their behinds off once they got there and they stuck in there. It's all about the right opportunity and space.
Trimming to Creek and Ramone Moore on the charge. That's a beautiful team basket. Pretty to watch. Great basketball, Adelaide. Now Casey Prather, who's going to hit 50 first. Here's Adelaide's chance, but we've got to see this again. Ramone Moore, he spent a season at Melbourne, and here he is burning them, supplied by Creek.
Again, with his right hand, then he goes down the other end. Isolation play with Prather against Creek. He picked a really good gap and forced Prather into the turnover with a travel.
Moore goes outside to Sobey, who thought about the long-range shot. Inside for Hodgson. Now Moore elevates. Didn't get the good shot away. So Melbourne's ball. How difficult for Ramone Moore to be a bench player for all but one game this season, and then in grand final game 3 be sent out to start.
He just switches that on, licks his lips and says, let me at him, coach. He's been great, and he'll be disappointed he missed that shot as Chris Goulding gets open from the corner and finally goes bang!
And says, let's get on a roll.
We have to understand that this game is going down to the wire. This is just great basketball, just going back and forth, plenty lead changes.
Well, Ware 12 points, Goulding 8 points. The reason I give their scores, because Joey Wright was happy to say, if we let Casper and Goulding score 20 each, we lose the championship.
Well, they got to pick up their defense because both of these gentlemen are rolling right now. Actually not rolling. They're both quiet. But these are the guys you want to keep quiet. Pardon me.
Creek just does a bit of everything, though. You have a look at this. He's at the line again, finds a way to be able to get there. He's got 6 points, backing to make both of these. But he's got 5 rebounds and 4 assists as well. A steal. Oh, he's just so active, and he really is the barometer for this team. I'm sure all the other guys look around and see his body language, and it doesn't waver. They can be up by 15 or down by 15, and he is going at it on every possession.
And that is exactly what a leader does. Whether we up 20 or down 20, I'm going hard. So I expect you to do the same.
Little zone defense here, again, from the Adelaide 36ers. Now they switch to a man.
Anderson puts it on the floor, kicks it across court. Goulding only just keeps it in. Barlow beats Moore, looks for an option. Casper Ware is a good one, but he leaves his shot short.
And that is great scramble defense for Adelaide.
A minute left in the first half. Anthony Dremick. He comes away without a result. And Casper Ware. These teams scored 205 points combined game one. There's a block from Hodgson, and Hodgson has been called for the foul. You saw the reaction from Matty. He says it was all ball. Chris Reed saw otherwise. Oh.
No wonder he was doing star jumps. That is clean. Great block. And have a look at Casper Ware just leaving it out there. Hodgson with those long limbs just slaps it on the baseline.
And we're back to those game totals. 205 game one, 203 game two. We're on target for something similar at 51-48 inside the last minute of the first half.
Well, a mate of mine texted me today and says, I don't think it's going to be as high scoring. I said, mate, you're kidding yourself. These teams don't know any other way. They are going to run it straight at each other every time. And there's so much talent. They're going to be able to put points on the board. Have a look at that. 54% now from the Adelaide 36ers. 51%. That's dropped from 70 for Melbourne United as Casper gets an early break.
The two highest scoring grand finals in 40-minute NBL might become the three highest scoring grand final games. Who's going to have the last say in this first half? Creek says, let it be us. Now Melbourne have their chance.
He's just so good with either hand around the basket, Mitch Creek.
You've been praising his shooting percentage all season for his position in the mid-60s. Phenomenal, Mitch Creek. What a year it's been. Giving up the captaincy to Brendan Tees, and it has worked for him. Break that, blocked by Sobey, Moller, still it won't go. Adelaide's D doing the job. 10 seconds left in the half. A scramble by Melbourne. Moller makes sure they will get a shot, but what sort of shot? Anderson, Breakthar, the seconds expire! KC Breakthar, and Melbourne United stay in the fight and deliver a big blow. Now there's some afters. It is grand final time and we love it. Shorter and Ware at it all week and at it again. Boy, oh boy, give me more of this, Shane Heal.
You've got to love it. The passion from both teams. Look at this crowd, everyone on their feet after that three. Great extra pass from Dave Anderson, and Prather in the corner drops a triple.
Bev wants to run on. Pete Siddle wants to go and deliver a bouncer. Everyone is into this one, especially this man, Corey Williams.
Well, Casper's one happy family out here. How you feeling, man?
Not too good. You know, we had a big lead, and we let them come back into it. We can't let that happen.
Last question. What is it going to take for you to close this game out? Adelaide right now had a good second quarter on you guys.
Second chance points, and just don't let them get no easy ones. You know, we get some stops, and we get on transition. It's going to be hard for them.
All right, good luck.
All right, thank you.
Over to you, Steve.
We'll get back to Steve Corey. 1-all and 53-all. How good is the Hungry Jacks NBL Grand Final Series? We're back with the second half right after this. Much grand final drama here as we look at some highlights from the first half. We're locked together at 53. Both teams putting their bodies on the line. This is desperate, desperate stuff. Who wants to go to Adelaide on Sunday leading 2-1? The first half finished with a melee. And from that, there is huge news out of that eruption right on halftime. Let's go to Steve Carfino, who will give us more.
Well, the bad news is Nathan Sobey has been ejected from the game for that headbutt. Terrible news for the game. And boy, Adelaide have been dealt some blows with Josh Childress being out. And now, after this incident, Nathan Sobey out for the remainder of this game at least. Now, Homicide has the reaction with Coach Joey Wright.
Coach, just found out Nathan Sobey, star guard, is ejected. Your thoughts?
We'll do the best we can, brother.
All right, good luck.
That is all Joey Wright has said pre-game and at half-time. We'll do the best we can. First to Steve Carfino, then Corey Williams. That man, Nathan Sobey, ejected from grand final game 3. The referee's report was a headbutt. That's why he's out. We've spoken to General Manager of the NBL, Jeremy Lerliger, who says the chances are there won't be a hearing before Sunday. So expect Sobey to play Sunday at this stage, but if there's then a hearing and that vision is used and goes against Sobey, he might not play game 5.
Well, I just got an update from Scott Butler that actually sounds different than that.
Okay.
And he's saying that he will be cited. There he is. He's escorted out of the gym, but he will be cited within 24 hours is what Scott Butler just said, and will have to face the tribunal before that.
So
we're getting
confusion reigns.
No doubt.
Head of the referees, general manager of the league, not entirely clear what will happen between now and Sunday. We will definitely go to Adelaide on Sunday, obviously, but what happens for Nathan Sobey in terms of playing Sunday? What happens to Nathan Sobey in terms of game 5? Should it be required? Wow.
Well, there's 2 freebies. And I tell you, that man instigated it as well. No doubt about it. But isn't that life? The instigator doesn't, he's not always the one that gets caught. If you react, and this is a critical reaction in a big game.
It is huge. As Boone, talking of huge, can't get his shot to go or the putback. Joey Wright really happy to milk the underdog tag now. We'll do the best we can. It's all he said to us. Pre-tip-off, half-time, in the car park outside. And now Wesley.
Has Joey got something against you, Homicide and Steve, or what? Because he didn't give you guys anything.
No, it showed. Make no mistake about that.
Yeah. His message was loud and clear. All you had to do was look at his face. You knew what he was thinking.
I didn't get, what's his message?
Well,
his message is that the world wants Melbourne to win. That's what Joey wants us to believe.
So he's not talking to us?
He's talking to the fans, and he wants the fans, he wants everyone to believe that we're all against Adelaide. That's not the case. As Ramone Moore pulls down a rebound. It helps galvanise his team in Joey's eyes. Look at Creek go off the glass.
Hey, with that said, the depth of this team, they still have a legitimate unit on that court.
Oh, they've got enough talent to be able to beat nearly any team in the competition. And if they get firing, that could happen tonight.
Boone spinning on Ramone Moore. Boone up to 10 points for the game. Shorter keeps it in the quarter play. And now Moore, free scoring still for both teams.
This thing could still be. This is actually advantage Adelaide. They have less players that have to get off the court, and that's more shot attempts that can go up.
There's no advantage to Adelaide. There is no advantage.
No Josh Childress, no Nathan Sobey, and you're saying advantage Adelaide? Corey!
This momentum is in their favor. If I'm Adelaide, I'm playing the zone for the rest of the game. 1-3-1, I'm rolling with.
Ramone Moore is the best guard in the block in the competition. My fear for Adelaide is they're going to run out of petrol tickets.
So still we're locked together. We're at 53 at the half. And now Melbourne knows ahead via the hand of Ty Wesley.
Well, maybe not advantage Adelaide so much, but they're in pole position. They're in the right position.
I'm used to you flip-flopping, so I'll just accept that. But what a play down the other end from Chris Golding. He got rid of Casper Ware and said, no, I'm going to the block because I know I got 2 from Wesley.
Casper Ware still with the 2 personals. He picked them up nice and early and spent more time on the bench than he would have liked in the first half.
And again, I like that play from Melbourne United. They go back to the well. That's the third team foul in the first 2 minutes and 18 seconds for the Adelaide 36ers. So Melbourne United have to continue to be aggressive and attack the paint either by post or off the dribble to get themselves to the free throw line.
Yeah, no worries about that. You know, United, they are going to continue to be aggressive. Especially when you start off on the post with Ty Wesley with the ball. You know he's going home.
And why wouldn't you when you shoot the ball so well from the free throw line as they finally drop one? But they are 13 from 15 even with that miss.
DJ stripped of the ball by Josh Boone. Look at it again.
That was clean. Real good defense by Josh Sobey.
Boone followed up by Ty Wesley. Ooh. Melbourne by 3, make it 5. Courtesy Casey Prather. He leads all scorers, Casey. And they're out by 5 points. We will have a timeout. So undermanned and now behind on the board. Joey Wright, not too keen to talk into a microphone. We'll do the best we can, is all he has said in 2 interviews. So if he won't talk to us, let's hear him talk to his players.
Take that every time, all right? You just can't have you pick up your 4th here. You got to run the point here. You help bring the ball up, okay? Now, everything has to be technical. Calm down, all right? Calm down. We got enough, but we have to do everything we do. Every screen's got to matter, okay? They're amped up, the team's going that way right now, all right? Joe, you play a corner on that creek. I still want you on the elbow, all right? So you go play a corner on his own, okay? On the horns. So stay with horns, all right? Stay with horns, all right? We okay, we okay. We okay? Let's go get it. Now, boys. Here we go. Defensively, you go,
So for Adelaide, Daniel Johnson leading all scorers, 13, followed by Mitch Creek, 12, Ramone Moore, the only other one in double figures, followed by Nathan Sobey with 9, but he's been ejected for an alleged headbutt right on half-time. A headbutt to Casey Prather, who remains on court. This is Ramone Moore, looks inside, finds Creek, unguarded. Another block by Wesley, but the follow-up by Adelaide is good.
Just a great pass from Ramone Moore, and that's how you stay in the play from Mitch Creek. It got blocked, but it didn't faze him. He stayed in it and was able to rebound it and finish it.
Just back to Wesley, he's the first man to record 4 blocks in the first 2 grand final games since Brett Wheeler 2004. His team scores again.
And this is what I don't like about Adelaide, when they switch those pick and rolls and have a big guarding a Casey Prather.
Magic Deng!
And that shot was right on song, because Magic Deng needs to now step his game up even higher to continue to give his team a chance.
This is absorbing. 2 points the difference. Nip and tuck throughout. Plenty of fire and brimstone and ejection. And now Daniel Johnson can't retrieve the ball in time, but Adelaide will keep possession off Melbourne last.
This is a great opportunity for Deng. Have a look at that pass there. This is the one I was talking about. Just stays in the play. Mitch Creek finishes it. But Deng, he has 18 points in 17 minutes, but it was in a game that they well and truly were controlling at home. Now's his opportunity to be able to stand up on the road when they're down, as Creek misses a bunny.
And I know he wished he could have that one back. But I totally understand what you're saying with Deng. Deng, now you're stepping into this role. The spotlight's on you, okay? You got to get it done on the road.
Next man up. They got 2 key guys down, and he will not get an easier shot, Mitch Creek, all night than that one he missed with his favoured left hand. I reckon he's better with his right.
Getting it done on the road, Corey, might be tough. United have won 10 of their last 11 home games this season. We know that since 2009, the grand final games have gone to the home team to the tune of 90%. Golding makes that a bit more likely now. And he runs into Drimmick, and Drimmick charged with the foul.
That's not just a foul, that's unsportsmanlike foul. I happened to catch it at the other end of the floor, and Drimmick whacked Golding with his right forearm.
Well, they might not have any players left, Adelaide. Childress injured, Sobey ejected, that's a shoulder. That's a shoulder to the head of Chris Golding. We know the footy season's come, the NRL and AFL are underway, but this is ridiculous.
Well, that's unsportsmanlike. I mean, I can't believe the referee's seen it. They've called a foul, and they're just calling it a normal foul. That's ridiculous. Particularly when it's off the ball.
Am I not seeing the replays properly? A shoulder to the head net region of a player nowhere near the ball.
So how does he still in the game, and how is Sobey in the dressing room?
Casper Ware. And before Adelaide fans start screaming at bias, I asked them, what happens if roles were reversed there? What would you be saying?
Well, it doesn't matter. I don't see any difference between any teams. I just say what I think.
Exactly, but I know what's going to be said.
Well, it won't be said by everybody.
We're fans of basketball, we don't care. But right there, I am amazed.
Chris, get to that corner.
And this is where Adelaide have to continue to control their emotions here. Obviously, there's a couple of men down. They feel like things have gone against them. But they're still in this game. And as Corey said, they've got the talent. They hit some shots. They could cause an upset on the road, but they need level heads to do it.
Here's Anthony Drimmick. Off with a shot. Ware spinning away nicely. They should have the numbers. Ware doesn't need anyone else. Casper does it all by himself.
And that's why you can't go for a steal in Campbell. You give Casper Ware a direct line to the basket on a 6'10 defender. He's scoring now.
DJ was looking for the reverse jam. Instead, he draws the foul. And he'll have to get two from the line instead. Look at Casper.
That's just too easy.
Yeah, completely too easy. There's no way DJ's going to stop him with a full head of steam at the NBA 3 line.
But the defense coming back the other way was just as bad from United, because straight away off the dribble, Casper Ware is matched up against Daniel Johnson, who's 6'10".
So Brendan Tees onto the floor for Adelaide, their captain. He's played 4 minutes total for 0 stats through the grand final series so far. What is running through the head of that man right now?
Well, now it's time for your man to be able to stand up, Shannon Shorter. He was the one who did all the talking. He's got 5 points and 0 assists, 0 rebounds. Tonight, they're 2 men down. He needs to come to play, Corey.
Mate, you are 100% correct. He has to come to play.
Peter Hooley in his rookie season. What a season for Pete to finish in a grand final series like this. Casper Ware, Hooley thought about the shot. Finds Golding onto David Barlow. That was never going to miss. David Barlow is having an outstanding grand final campaign.
He's been money. There's no doubt about it. You cannot leave him open. He shot the ball at 42% during the year and higher in the playoffs.
Off shorter, baseline, it will be Melbourne's ball.
This must be David Barlow's best shooting postseason from the 3 in his career.
Oh, he's been outstanding. no doubt about that. No better time to be able to save a few more threes than game 3 of a grand final series, if you don't mind.
2 of 2 from downtown tonight. Casper Ware. Bucket waved away.
Again, here's what I don't understand. Why are you having your point guard being defended by a center? Why is your center guarding Casper?
I agree with that, Corey. And the other thing that doesn't make sense is now you're at risk of putting DJ in foul trouble, and at a stage there's 5 team fouls for the Adelaide 36ers, so every foul now resorts back to 2 free throws for Melbourne United. So if you're United, you're trying to get them into an on-ball, get them to switch, and then really attack off the dribble and live for this last 3.5 from the free throw line.
And you better believe Casper's going to the basket every chance he gets. You want to put a, if you want, sorry, if you want to put a center on me, 3:40 left in the quarter, I'm going at him every possession. Every possession.
League MVP Corey Williams right there telling us how he'd go at it. Magic Deng, baseline pass Golding. And the foul called on Golding. Little elbow popping out.
Well, that's the right call. Clearly a foul on Chris Golding. After the foul, though, have a look at this. Then he hooks. Right call by the officials.
Deng's on the line. He's got 2. He lost that timeout.
So Magic Deng judged to have started his scoring movement. He'll go to the line. Trailing by 9 Adelaide. Every free throw crucial to them as they try to hang tough.
We're going to switch it. We're going to put Shannon on Boone from the jump. If their offense becomes throwing it down to Boone and going one-on-one, we're okay with that. All right? We're going to go double off of what's his name when Boone goes down. So we'll try to take everybody else out.
Tactics by them out of Joey Wright. Joey working overtime. His team against the odds. It's Joey's 11th time to the finals, 3rd time to a grand final. The champion at Brisbane 2007. Casper Ware across court. Hooley finds Barlow, but Tees gets there in time. Now Golding catches the rim, and that's all. Shorter just bumps Casper Ware out of the way and allows Daniel Johnson to shake 3 through.
And that was good defense on one side of the court to come down here, penetrate, kick out the DJ to continue his good form. Down by 4.
And a perfect time for him to hit a big triple to give them belief that they can still win this game.
Cooley, pass Johnson, and he draws the foul.
And that's the thing on the other end, okay? Peter Hooley hasn't shot 1 3 today. But they know if you see a big guy in front of you, you coming at him with a full head of steam, there's nothing he can do but foul you.
And that was a bad defensive play. Have a look at Boone. He just lost Daniel Johnson. He has to know the scouting report. That's what DJ has made a living from for his entire career. He can't help off that far.
DJ 3 of 3.
Bucks out here.
Outside.
Bucks out.
18 points for the game.
But he's got 4 fouls now, and that's what Corey and I have been talking about all game. If you're going to switch onto the guards, you are liable to put your best player in a position where he's going to be in foul trouble.
So DJ with 4 fouls. Ty Wesley, 4 fouls. It's going to be a long 2 minutes.
Shorter's going to start to back up the talk. Now, that was almost an air ball on that runner. 2 from 7 for the night.
So both those men who lead the foul count are sitting. They'll watch the end of the 3rd.
What? What happened? It's your ball. It's your ball. What did you call?
Barlow finds Hooley. 76-69. Now Ware, the bounce pass to Moller, who thought about elevating. Instead, he travels. Just when I thought he was about to jump, he shuffled the feet.
Well, he's done it twice now. You know, great pass from Casper Ware. Had his footwork right. Just needs to go up and make a play at the bucket.
Mitch Creek can't find the hoop after backing the glass. A big couple of minutes here for Adelaide. Tease. This is Creek. Hodgson, the shot clock to 3, goes outside. Shannon Shorter. He has travelled. A little nod of approval from Casper Ware. An ever so slight smirk on the face of Ware as Shannon Shorter muffs his lines.
Great defensive play. Shannon Shorter needs to shoot that. We spoke about that with Moller at the other end. He needs to be locked and loaded, ready to be able to let that rip. You can see in the background, only 1 second on the shot clock. He travels and a shot clock violation.
Let's go back to this collision earlier in this period. Anthony Drimmick and Chris Golding. I want you to compare this apparent shoulder to what we saw Nathan Sobey ejected for. That angle perhaps not so bad for Anthony, the elevated shot, and here's Nathan Sobey. That angle, again, worse than the courtside angle for Nathan, but can you draw a line between those two? One sees a player ejected, the other gets called for a foul, and that's it.
And you know what? I don't think that Sobey should be suspended. I think that there was more an intention than actually making too much contact. For me, I think when they go through it, they're going to say maybe he tried to, or maybe he tried to push back. No doubt the Prather initiated that contact, but I think he's right to play in game 4.
Okay, what incident do you judge as being most serious there?
Well, there's no doubt a headbutt or an attempted headbutt is more serious. I think that...
You called it a push or a brush with the forehead as opposed to a shoulder to a man on the move.
Yeah, I mean, I think it was an unsportsmanlike foul from Drimmick. But, you know, he went down pretty easily as well. But, you know, I don't think there's much in more than that. We move on.
Let's do that as Casper Ware goes to Moller. Barlow, quick to put it back on the floor. Craig Moller can't deliver from the corner, and Shorter off and running. Moore through Shorter. Here's Majok-Deng needing this to go. He makes it look easy. His customary celebration, and they're back within 4.
Do not count out Adelaide 36ers. They're going to give you everything they have.
They want to take the lead because no road team has come from behind at three-quarter time in a grand final in a decade. But David Barlow says you are not going to lead at three-quarter time.
Oh, my, that is wet. It's just hitting the bottom of the net every time he lets it rip.
It's almost like Barlow has been saving himself for the grand final series. He knows it's his time to shine. Here's Majok-Deng showing us his ability again from range. We know he can do this. Perfect from Magic. And then you go back to this man, David Barlow, who has been feeling it all series.
David Barlow is shooting the ball at an extremely high percentage this series from the 3.
100% tonight, Corey. Casper Ware won't miss from here. Put it on that with his eyes shut. And as quick as you can blink, they're out again by a margin. A problem up the floor for Ramone Moore, who screams in pain about an ankle.
His right ankle, he's holding that. Hodgson went to pick him up, didn't want to get up, and he keeps rolling around in pain, holding his right ankle. They certainly don't need another man down.
Are they seeing this championship slip between their fingers? Childress injured. Sobey ejected. Now Ramone Moore, the replacement for Childress, gingerly back to his feet.
You have a look there. You saw that Ramone Moore's foot landed on Hooley's on that last step and just buckled. But traditionally, with those ankles taped normally, it's not as bad an ankle sprain, from my experience, compared to when you go up in the air and you come down on someone's foot, because it comes at far greater force.
Well, my man, he is being helped off the court. That is never a good look.
He's right. He'll be right, mate.
Game 4, 3 p.m. Eastern Daylight Time, 2:30 local time, Adelaide, Sunday. Not a big turnaround.
You can walk these things off, though. He might get retaped again.
What, you want him to walk back to Adelaide?
No, not quite.
81-72. Huge responsibility on Shannon. Shorter. That's how he wants to answer. A little nod to the coach as he heads to three-quarter time. It's a big bucket for Adelaide. Back within 6. 1 quarter to play in a game that has had a little bit of everything. Go nowhere. The 4th after this. The Adelaide 36ers within 6 points as we enter the final quarter. They need a big last term, and they are undermanned. No Josh Childress. Nathan Sobey ejected. This shot at three-quarter time was the 50,000 large. He missed a follow-up for 3K, so the fans come up empty. But what will Adelaide come up with here after the 4th quarter? Because we know they have injury concerns to Josh Childress, a question mark over Nathan Sobey now. Let's go to Steve Carfino. What can you tell us about Ramone Moore?
Well, I haven't been able to talk to the athletic trainer because he's been busy taping Ramone's ankle. The news isn't that. The news is that he didn't have his ankle taped in the first place. They took his sock off, and he did not have his ankle taped. So hopefully it wasn't as bad as they thought. He can get out there and run around again. He's putting his shoe back on.
Gentlemen, I am telling you, this game is going to continue to go down to the wire. This is not going to be a blowout. They have enough points on the floor offensively to stay in this game. It's going to come down to the last few possessions.
This man with the last points, top scored for Adelaide, 18 off the bench on Sunday. And Ramone Moore is popping his sneakers back on, so he could be back here. He was their second high scorer, 17.
Going into a little 2-3 zone too to buy time. Then they're switching on that first pass into a man-to-man.
David Anderson at the free throw line. Banks 2.
He does that so effortlessly. Knock down that mid-range shot from the top.
Shorter gave it a good look. Deng makes sure he gets another look. And this time, it's all good. He can thank Magic Deng.
And Homicide is riding that three. He was making body contact with me for the whole time it was in the air.
I just tweeted, I think Shannon Shorter saving his best for the last quarter.
Here's Casper Ware. He draws the foul early in the drive. Here's Shorter again. Look at that effort, the reach of Deng. Shannon just missed the three. Second time around, it's all good.
You see the emotion hammer. Matty, you see that?
Emotion. You just got to be able to back that thing up.
I think he's saving his best for the last quarter.
Okay, well, he's been saving it. Now it's time to deliver.
Okay, let's see what we got.
Here's Ty Wesley, nice spin, but he loses the ball. Maybe he was left a little dizzy. Deng positions himself again. Shorter finds Creek unguarded across court. And Anderson gets it back despite the efforts of Deng. Deng appealing to Vaughan Maybury for the foul. Wesley, the big man on the move.
That is a 5-point turnaround. Open shot from Creek in the corner. He doesn't often take them, but it looked good off the hand. That was to go in front.
Shorter gets his feet tangled, but passes to Deng just in time. Shorter sets himself, can't make that one. And Anderson cleans up. They go back to Wesley. And now there's players tangled again and again. It's Anthony Drimmick involved. Again, and it's with Golding. Unsportsmanlike this time.
See, I'm looking forward to seeing the replay. I was watching the ball on that occasion.
I saw the whole thing. They're pretty much carrying each other. You're going to see the replay. Like, that's a double foul. All right, first of all, it's just two players locked up the whole time. He picks him up, and he picks him up. Come on, man.
Yeah, I totally agree. You know, that's nothing more than a little cuddle.
100%, that was 50-50.
I'll let that go, man.
But see, that's what happens when you don't jump onto it before, and then you overreact to something that really was a nothing sort of play. They just needed to be able to get on with it.
Can't get in the call.
How do I get out of it?
Just get out.
Alex, come on, man. Let's go,
An exasperated coach, a player who has a point. How do I get out of it? They were both into it. They were both trapped.
What Joey Wright's saying is you can get out of it as a player. They both had each other hooked up, but when you're playing on the road, the officials want to call something. You've got 10,000 people that are roaring as Dave Anderson gives them something else to cheer about. Joey's saying, don't make contact, get out of it.
It just seems like every time David Anderson touches the ball, something beautiful happens.
Turnover Adelaide. Now Golding finds Prather onto Wesley. The finish was lacking. It will be Adelaide. So Ty Wesley picks up his 5th personal. He is out of the game. He'll watch from here.
That's a big call for Dean Vickerman to start him in this 4th quarter, knowing that he had 4 fouls. The advantage they have, like Adelaide, they've got a deep roster, so to be able to bring Barlow off the bench, they really don't lose a lot.
Prather and Daniel Johnson next in line. They're nursing 4 fouls each. Now Mitch Creek working the paint. Another rebound to David Anderson. Here's Prather off the glass. Uh-oh. Out by 10.
And that's a great find in transition to a red-hot Casey Prather with 21 points right now.
Tough bucket, Shannon Shorter. He feeds it from close range.
Shannon Shorter, his energy is lifted offensively.
They just have to stay close enough until they can get Daniel Johnson back into the lineup. 6 minutes to go. See, this switch is hurting the Adelaide 36ers.
Casper Ware bangs into a couple of 76ers, but has the last laugh. 2 more to Casper. He's up to 21 for the game. He and Prather leading all scorers.
Casper Ware is doing whatever he wants offensively, and it's extremely easy to do so when there's a center in front of you. I don't understand that type of defense. Why are you switching and continuously putting the center on him? Because he's going right to the basket. You might as well move out the way and just let him get an easy layup.
David Anderson telling everyone it was a close run thing. There's a steal by Casey Prather on Shorter, who does enough. Great D, Shannon Shorter, with some words of encouragement afterwards. And he's still going.
And that is huge, Dee. When you're left one-on-one in the open court against one of the most athletic players in the league, does a good job to get there and go straight up and down without fouling. Big-time play.
Mitch Creek really measured his shot unsuccessfully. He's had some costly misses in the 4th, Mitch. So good as a shooter all season. Anderson threw Golding onto Barlow, and Casper Ware is parked way outside. Ding with the rebound. Moore back on the floor. And Creek loses at baseline. Melbourne's ball now.
And, you know, that's good transition defense to cut Mitch Creek off. He goes out of bounds with the dribble. Right now they have a 10-point lead, 5.5 left, and momentum is in. It favors United.
There's one bright point for Adelaide heading home Sunday. Ramone Moore back out there. He's shaken that ankle injury. Barlow does magnificently to keep the ball in play. Tossed over his head in hope. And it finds Casey Prather. Casper Ware! Nothing but nets. The crowd, they can sense it. 2-1 they're shouting.
And he's got a little bit of talk about too, because that was one-on-one ISO against Shorter, who comes straight back at him.
We gotta love it. This is why we're here. Shannon Shorter has lifted his game. Casper Ware is in form.
Shorter up to 15 for the contest. Golding, like that look. Here's the save from David Barlow. Was there a toe on the line? Was allowed to continue, and this was the result.
That is a great one-on-one play. If I'm Melbourne United now, though, I'm running a pick and roll with Casper Ware and putting Johnson into that pick and roll, hoping they switch so he can go off the dribble. Look at the chitter-chatter between these two.
If there's a motor in Shannon's mouth, it needs refueling. Surely he's running low on juice. It's been working all game, all week.
Yeah, this is what we want right here. This is what Australia wants.
Over the top, Casper Ware would have loved that to drop. I guarantee Shannon would have got a bit of lip back. What a battle as the whistle comes initially from Michael Aylen.
That's the right call on Dave Barlow. You saw that screen. He got up and into the screener to try and create more space for the guard to be able to get through.
96-85. We spoke early in the game, gentlemen, about what Shannon Shorter had said to Casper Ware. Shannon telling Casper, we've kept you to 6 points in game 2. We're coming to get you in Melbourne. You're not good enough. To which Casper simply responded, well, if I'm not good enough, why don't you spend some time guarding me? How have you assessed their battle, Corey?
You know, honestly, to be honest with you, Casper's been doing his thing all game. Shannon Shorter has picked up his level of play in the 4th quarter. They're going back and forth right now. It's a great matchup, but I need to see some more from Shannon Shorter, because right now it's still advantage Casper Ware.
I know that Steve Carfino is keen to join this conversation. Steve?
I don't want to miss out on all the fun. I believe that Shannon Shorter is the type of player that motivates himself by talking to other players. You don't see him shying away from talking as Casper Ware is hitting shots. He's still talking. I believe that's for him to motivate himself and his teammates.
Well, Shannon Shorter needs a big 4 and a bit minutes. His team down by 11.
The mismatch on Boone early.
The one thing I like about Shannon Shorter is that he plays with a lot of passion. You can tell that he really genuinely cares. You come across some Americans that it's a job, they want to get paid, but he has a real desire to go head-to-head against the best players in the league.
Hammer, I love this is his first season in the league. Initially, it was a struggle for him. The critics were lining up, but he stood solid and he answered, and he's had a really, really good season.
See, I'm not sure that he was under question. I just think there was an adjustment period. Corey did. Corey mentioned him early. But I think that's just an adjustment. You go from someone like Jerome Randall that puts up big numbers. His role is different.
But that's what the fans were saying. The fans were saying or expecting a Jerome Randall type person. They were never going to get it in Shannon Shorter.
I said that to Corey at the time. He's not that player. He has different strengths that can help this Adelaide 36ers, and other players can flourish by not having the ball a little bit more than, say, when Jerome was there.
Look, I agree, and they all have flourished. He's come in and played his role to a T, hence why they're in the grand final.
His season average 13 points, 5 rebounds, 4 assists, a high of 23 points. 28-year-old from Houston. Casper Ware puts it on the floor. That was to beat Ramone Moore. Couldn't finish, and now Anthony Drimmick gets a good look. No joy from him shooting.
That really was an open look from Drimmick as well. Needs to knock that down. But a second foul from Boone to be able to put the Adelaide 36ers to the line carelessly.
When you think about it right now, the 36ers are playing really good defense. Their energy's up. You know, that makes them go even harder on offense, which they are. They're getting the shots that they want. And right now, they're still in this game.
They are, and they're going to need some luck, though. They've dodged a couple of bullets. Casper Ware's missed a couple of wide-open shots. They need a little bit of luck along the way, but you're right. When they get stops, they are so dangerous, and they still have so much belief that they can come back and win.
Their deficit, 7 points. So Melbourne United, 96 points. They are 10-0 when they get to 95 this season. Or more than 95, I should say. They scored 95 in a loss on Sunday, but now they're at 98. And in this territory, they just don't lose, at least not this season. Shorter. Shelters his way into Prather. Drimmick makes sure they keep the ball, and Magic Deng makes sure they keep on scoring.
I told you Majuk Deng needed to step up, and he finally has. Big second half from Majuk.
It's the second time he's hit threes after a missed shot from Adelaide, and it's bounced back out as Prather just with a little free throw, but it's worth 2.
And Casey Prather has been cooking. Quietly, he's been cooking in this game. 23 points, 9 for 15 from the field, 60%.
Shorter can't score. Golding pulls down the rebound. Casper Ware receiving more treatment inside the bench of Melbourne. United 100 points. That's their average this season against Adelaide. They cop it up. Deng finds Ramone Moore. Cooley gets there just in time. And now the foul will be called on Golding.
I'm not sure what Dean Vickerman's arguing about. That's clearly a foul on Golding. As we see this play, it came back out. Good tip from Drimmick. Deng loves it in that situation of knocking down the 3. But a good double team from the Adelaide 36ers. And then Golding makes a play at the ball, but clearly a foul.
You know, Joey Wright loves a couple of his players on the court right here. Magic Deng, he says Deng is simply a scoring machine. As for Ramone, he gives us buckets, he controls the tempo, he plays good D. Well, right now, his fate in this game rests largely with those 2 men, Magic Deng and Ramone Moore.
Well, the other thing that Ramone Moore does is he leads his team in assists. He's got a 2-to-1 assist-to-turnover ratio for the year, which is outstanding for a perimeter player and somebody that could put points on the board. That time, he got the deflection that started that transition.
You're going to stack that corner. You're going to come off that way, off the juke. I mean, off the DJ roll, pop juke, they don't have to come.
Still 2 minutes to play. It is 6 the difference.
2-possession game we have.
Barlow, the bounce pass finds Prather. He can't score. Opportunity here for Adelaide. Ramone Moore spins on Golding. Gets to the bucket, but can't get the ball above it. And Melbourne come back at them.
Looked like there could have been contact on that play from Golding.
Prather, so athletic. The shot is a poor one, though. And again, it's Magic Deng who hacks Prather away from him. Now Shorter. Shannon was riding that one. How big a miss is that to bring it back to a 1-possession game? Just over a minute to play. Ware double teams, and he turns it over. Deng again. Enormous in the final period. Magic Deng. Now Ramone Moore off the glass and through. Hang on, 196.
And that is a big-time move and a big-time finish by Ramone Moore. That's what he does. He drives hard left. He makes you bite because you know he can finish left. And then he spins out of it and finishes with the right hand off the glass for tough two.
Well, it was a defensive play from the 36ers where they got the double team. No one came to the ball to be able to flash and get it off Casper Ware and break that pressure.
Gentlemen, no Josh Childress. Sobey ejected. That man, Ramone Moore, spending part of the game with a sprained ankle. Yet Adelaide, in a hostile away environment, down by only 4.
But we said that all the way through. That's in their DNA. They've done this in Perth in front of 13,000 people against the team that's won the last 2 championships. It's the way they play. They never give up.
If you think this atmosphere is wild, what about Adelaide on Sunday?
I can't wait till Sunday. This weekend is epic for the NBL. Couldn't ask for anything better.
Their fans watching this and reloading and telling Melbourne, we're coming at you on Sunday, you better believe it. So United's fans on their feet, trying to ride their team home. Inside the final minutes, it's Melbourne by 4. Ware across court, David Barlow misses a 3, finally. And Majok Deng can really make it interesting. Instead it's Moore. Moore driving, and he draws the foul. He'll go to the line for 2.
What a play from Moore. He's been incredible tonight. We saw him tweak his ankle. He went and got it taped, came back on, and he's been their money man making plays off the dribble tonight.
There are 5 Adelaide players in double figures, led by Daniel Johnson, then Moore and Deng 16, followed by Shorter 15, Creek 14. And if Sobey hadn't been ejected, he'd be among them. He had 9 to the half.
Well, now they're going to have to double team quickly. I'm not sure whether Dean Bickerman has called a timeout or not. Probably has and will probably advance it. But he needs to make both first.
Well, the 28-year-old from Philadelphia, playing his 50th NBL game tonight, stands at the free throw line in front of the crowd he used to play for last year, hoping to silence them now. Strong, the first leg.
He does not look phased one bit, Ramone Moore. 5 from 5 from the line tonight. You'd have to back him in making this one too.
The first Adelaide player to be the best 6-man is also a pretty handy free throw shooter. 198, 20 seconds left in grand final game 3. How good is this series?
It's been incredible. And when you throw the curveballs in with Childress obviously going down, and then we've seen Sobey get ejected as well, they have just shown so much character, the Adelaide 36ers. They truly believe, and so do their fans, they believe that everybody's against them.
Which is verbalised by Joey Wright. He likes that to be the case. But it's a fitting grand final series in what has been a magnificent season for the NBL. So many initiatives, from tip-off to the finish, from the trip to the States to trial against NBA teams, to the news that the Boomers will play Team US next August in Melbourne. Now European heavyweights are lining up to be part of that as well. Andrew Demetriou, the former AFL CEO, is now co-chair of the NBL Advisory Board. Oscar Foreman has called it quits. We've had a change in coaching at New Zealand. Isaac Humphries has opted out of Sydney. There is news everywhere, and the NBL is making more and more noise.
Yeah, there's no doubt about that. There's a lot to be able to talk about with the NBL, and you'd have to think that next year is going to be even bigger and better with some of the talk around as well.
Forget that. Let's concentrate on 20 seconds. 20 seconds to decide game 3. Adelaide fighting oh so bravely. Hugely down on numbers. They're within a shot as they double team and get a result. On the floor, it's Creek. possession arrow will decide this, and it's in favour of Melbourne.
Oh, no. What a defensive play from the Adelaide 36ers. The ball came in. Instead of fouling, they got a quick double team. Got it back to Creek, but he couldn't release it.
Heartbreak for the travelling fans. They thought they had an opportunity there to lock it up or go to the front.
And now United can't get sucked in to do the same thing. They really have to try and throw it out the top. Make sure that it's not a turnover, but obviously they'll be able to dribble out of that. When it's in that corner, it makes it a little bit more difficult.
I hope Melbourne United fans are fit because they've been on their feet for a long time. This final minute seems like an hour.
All right, Melbourne, we got 13.8 seconds.
Just under 14 to play.
You follow me. Here we go. Let's go.
The referee's just consulting with the scorer's bench. I assume it's an inquiry regarding the time on the clock. I hope that gives a sense of the amazing atmosphere at Hisense Arena that will be matched or beaten in Adelaide on Sunday. Here's Casper Ware. They're moving the ball, milking the clock. Now Creek fouls Golding. And Golding will go to the line.
Well, they've done such a good job, the Adelaide 36ers, the possession before, but that time, their double team, they had to foul earlier. They were able to take 8 seconds off the shot clock, Melbourne United, or the game clock. They'll go again.
Another quick whistle. This time the foul is called on Shannon Shorter.
And that's only the 4th team foul, so they'll need to go again. The clock's obviously against them, 4.2 seconds to go.
Time check out 6.
Got to remember too, the way the unsportsmanlike foul's called is that they've got to make a play at the ball if they want to foul and send the Adelaide 36 to the line. Joey Wright still with 1 timeout. So if they foul, they would be hoping that they're going to miss 1 free throw with a chance to call a timeout, advance it, and hit a 3 to equal it.
Ideally, who do they want to foul here? Anderson, Golding, Prather, Ware, all decent at the line. And there's your answer. They fouled Casper Ware.
Well, unfortunately, they didn't have a choice. Casper Ware is the man for United that you want the ball in his hands.
The man who started this game in amazing fashion can just about end it right here. Drop both, and they're comfortable. Miss one, and the door opens for Adelaide.
Well, and if he does miss one, you'd love to see Adelaide with the last chance to be able to tie this thing up. Just out of their effort and their fight to be able to stay in this game with everything going against them, they've been incredible.
He's an 86% free throw shooter. Casper Ware. The first one perfect. Joey Wright willing Casper to miss the second. Oh, so boisterous tonight. Hisense falls almost silent. And the second one jumps out. There's hope for Adelaide.
Well, that's so much better for the Adelaide 36ers because if Creek had got the rebound, they only had 3 seconds to get it the other end. The ball got deflected, timeout. Now they'll advance it, and it'll be a last-second play to be able to hit this 3. And I hope it goes to overtime.
Okay, Shane, who do you set it up for? Who do you want? If you're Joey Wright, who do you want to charge with dropping this 3 to send us to OT?
Well, you'd probably say that the man from 3 traditionally is Drimmick. He hasn't been great so far in this series. Ramone Moore is somebody that we know that can hit it as well and has the confidence to be able to back that up as well.
Could I suggest Majok Deng or Daniel Johnson, as unlikely as that might seem, given they are both 3 of 3 tonight?
Well, anytime you run a screen and some sort of curl cut option and make the big able to jump off, it's easy for the big man to be able to flare. So it's probably the easiest play to be able to draw up for Joey Wright to be able to get one of those guys' shots. And you're right, they've both been good three-point shooters. Daniel Johnson, 100% tonight. And we know he certainly won't be afraid of the occasion. And Dang looks like the sort of guy as well that isn't afraid.
Well, if you add up all the points scored in this series, right now, Adelaide are ahead by 1. That doesn't matter. They're down by 3 and trying to send us to OT with 3.3 left on the clock.
Come here.
The prediction was this would be a memorable, more than that in fact, a fantastic grand final series, and how it is turning out to be. So Adelaide advanced the ball after the timeout. Ramone Moore charged with the inbound. 3.3 seconds to play. Majok Deng parks his feet, misses the shot. Barlow gets the rebound. And Melbourne United are within 1 win of their first NBL championship. They will lead us to Adelaide, 2-1 up, within sight of the title, but can they survive Adelaide's hostile environment? So much more still to come after such a wonderful game. Melbourne United squeeze home 101-98. Now Carrick, Felix and Shannon Shorter. We're not done yet in Melbourne. Let's not go to Adelaide just yet. Shannon saying, back it up, Carrick. Back it up, son. Let's stay on court here because anything is possible. Emotions running high, tempers threatening to boil over after a few boil-overs already.
This game has had it all. And what a setup for Game 4 on Sunday. Hardly any turnaround time. But wow, this is going to be incredible.
Extra security, please, at Titanium Security Arena.
Oh, the Adelaide fans are going to be frothing. They are. It is going to be a sellout, and they will come in the mass to be able to get this done. Can't wait.
Well, Casper Ware finished with 25 points, 9 of 18 from the field. He's standing by with Corey Williams.
25 points, 50% from the field. And you got the last word tonight. Tell me about this game between you and this gentleman, Shannon Shorter.
It wasn't about that. It was just about getting the win tonight. And that's what I wanted to do for my team. Come out here, be aggressive, and get the win.
Last question for you. Is this series over Sunday?
We focus on that when Sunday comes. You know, we just got to come out and play hard. We can't put nothing past them. They're a good team.
All right, good luck.
Thank you.
We will have more highlights and more fallout from a truly remarkable NBL Grand Final. A game won by Melbourne, 101-98, but with talking points galore, and we'll have some for you right after this.